it apparently, you know, every time I get baited, you know, every time I read something from a unit that tries to be special, right? And then I'm like, oh, so hype. You know, like the moment that I saw Lilibet the previous time, and I was like thinking, oh my god, finally a character that can use auto attacks and win. No, she still is skill based. You know, I'm gonna continue and resume everything else after I do this Kyle impression. Okay, now that this is the first time that we have him on screen, like literally on screen. I don't even know whether it's Kyle or is this Ray, because you know, Kyle and Ray are in the screen and they are sharing. They're sort of sharing the whole page that itself, right? It just seems like they are Siamese twins. You know, their bodies got fused together. You know, maybe in the future it could be content for the game, right? Like Dragon Ball Z, DBZ. You know, they have the SCR and defense and very high HP. So you can see here, he is you know, physical damage dealer, obviously focusing on that, and he has really good defenses with high HP that makes him tanky. All right, weak against ice, very weak against ice. So it might be a slight problem. It might be. But I don't think that it will, because he's gonna be much tankier. I mean, with HP. So it might be slightly a problem in arena because ice is so predominant. And Sage Jackers, in some sense, is the only ice damage dealer. Like even Amelia, I wouldn't say will be able to deal good enough damage. Although she's probably second to none. Second to Sage Jackers. Alright. So resistance to stun and nail on illness is really good. Alright. Weak against curse, but I think his job is just to soak damage. So I'm perfectly fine with him getting cursed. But of course we can definitely still invest in some SCs to put that on, since you know, he already has most of the things on him already. So yeah, moving on with his skills. Frontal, long range fire combo attack. You know, I think this is able to be cast anywhere on the map. So very nice skill. It's like a Dante's S1 if I'm not wrong. So Dante's S1, which I really like. I think that's really good. S2 launches enemy in the air, chance to lower fire resist. So I think the chance is about is speculation here before I can test it out or before I can get any other information. It's probably around 10%. So 10% chance to resist reduce fire resistance, probably by 20. Right, most of the time is by 20. So it is nice, but he is not really a pure fire character in some sense. So unless you're gonna, okay, usually it doesn't happen. So okay, what am I saying here is that it is good to have, right? The resistance down is definitely a good to have, but he also has this S3 and S4 will change to light. So we're gonna go about that in, right now. So S3 is his gap closer, and changes to light if light resistance is lower. Nice gimmick over there, but he's still gonna lose a lot of DPS because it gets shifted to light instead of being fire. So if you, I mean, he has all the buffs on fire itself. So if it changes to light, right, because of this mechanic, you will not get any boost at all. So the damage is just pure based off the basic stats. No, like it doesn't convert the fire high boost, the fire attack raise, you know, to light. It doesn't. So the damage is gonna be pretty pathetic. But at least you don't go through the resistances that Emily have. That is the only bright side. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna do more damage because of this change of element. So if let's say it's like 5 difference, it's like if he's if the opponent is 20 resistance to fire and 15 resistance to light, you know, you're gonna change it to light and you're gonna do less damage, confirm less damage than if it was on fire element. So that is not something that would always be an advantage for Carl, right? So Final Braver, same ultimate that he has. It's a single target, not really impressed about that, right? Because it's single target, average to above average kind of kit over there, right? S3 being his gap closer, S1 being anywhere you can cast on the map, which is similar to a Dante, but Dante seems to have to edge out over in terms of mechanic wise. Okay, Dante edges out for me because S2 is his gap closer, while for Kyle is S3. We will have to see what is his SCT requirements, you know, to really go down the wire of seeing if it's better or Dante is better in that sense. But at this point of time, my impression of this dude is a tank. It's a tanky character. So maybe it's a different way of playing. Alright, let's move on to the traits. Alright, first trait, Air of Adele. Fire and Dark magical attacks don't make the unit flinch. This is sort of like a DB Ray mechanic, right? The only unit that actually has it is DB Ray, and now Kyle has something similar. But in terms of usefulness, still DB Ray is better in terms of usefulness, right? Because fire and dark magic is not particularly used, not as predominant as ice magic. So if you are gonna use fire or dark, it is a supplement for ice. So basically, in some sense, right, people who want to build in arena, for example, DB Ray with Kyle. So meaning to say, when DB Ray is getting CC'd, Kyle will not get CC'd. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it's like a counter to a counter in some sense, right? Like there will still be a unit that is not flinchable in that sense if you are playing the both of them. So whenever a unit or allies is near there, fire damage plus 5%, fire damage cap plus 1000. So this potentially adds 10,000 physical fire damage cap and also 50% fire damage to Kyle. This fire damage would be interesting and useful for arena and PvE wise also, while the damage cap is mainly for PvE. Alright, so I can see this you know, is a decent skill, requires your teammates to be the ones that are targeted, and it's near death. So basically not too difficult, you know, to attain when you are in arena, and also when you are in PvE fighting hard difficult bosses, because you're gonna have like squishier units comparatively to Kyle. So the chances of them getting low HP is much higher. So this will buff him up. Alright. So okay, interesting. And second thing is Night Lord, right? Battle start HP cap. So this is gonna probably make him like one of the highest HP characters in the game. Base HP in some sense is already pretty high, and he's gonna get an additional 2000 from here, which will make him pretty tanky in that sense. Pretty beefy. Alright, so when an ally takes the lethal damage, so this is something like convergence of Sage Zackers, right? But instead of using MP, he's gonna sort of stop your unit from dying, right? So it stops 2 times per wave. So barrier ends when unit dies. So basically, he's gonna give a barrier equals to his HP, right? So if you can build him to like a 20,000 HP, he is able to have a 20,000 HP shield barrier, right? Which is probably gonna be the best barrier in the game at this point, and he can do it twice. So basically, if it's the same unit, right, the same unit is gonna get additional 2 lives, or maybe even more than 2 lives, because 20k HP is equivalent to like maybe 2 lives of one squishy unit. Like if your unit is 10k HP, which is, you know, like my Siege Jackets doesn't even have 10k. So if it's 10k and you have 20k barrier, it's almost equivalent to 2 lives, and having it proc twice would mean 4 lives. So Arena, he is gonna be pretty irritating to deal with in Arena. The traits, we're gonna move on to his skills. Okay, first up, we're gonna look at his charisma. This charisma looks pretty bad at the beginning, but you know, having more HP cap, okay, makes your units tougher. But why would you want to do that, right? The question is, why would you want your units to be tougher when a lot of times you just want to clear the content, right? There's not really much things that you have to be that 1500 HP can solve, right? So at this point of time, it might look as if it's not that awesome. Secondly, we have the regular attacks plus 10% damage. Okay, it looks as a very small number, right? I do agree. It is a small number. 10%, if you are dealing like 2000 damage, 10% is only additional 200 damage, right? However, if you are doing like 15,000, then 10% will go up to 16,500, which still doesn't really make a very big difference. So seems very lackluster in terms of a charisma, right? There's so many other charismas that would potentially be better. But one thing that I would say that if this is ever useful, it is going to be useful for something that uses Goddess Kiss. Okay, so Goddess Kiss, like a Goddess Kiss team. So your whole team uses Goddess Kiss, and your whole team uses auto attacks to gain back MP. I don't know how great that would be, but the only thing that I can see this being useful is through using Goddess Kiss. Alright, so that's my take on that. Right, so Fighting Spirit, he has 2 Fighting Spirits, which is very nice. It's 20% HP and Strength. Make him even buffier. So he has crits, he has Proud Force, he has a Divinity Slayer, so additional interesting stuffs on him. He doesn't have special boost though, so that is something that you probably can put on him, special boost. So Night Zone, more likely to be attacked. Frontal physical attack damage plus 10%, frontal physical damage taken minus 10%. So this will be very made for him to be a tank, right? This is a skill that if you don't want him to be a tank, you remove this. Okay, remove this skill if you don't want him to be a tank. Although you get a plus 10% more damage, but then again, it makes him flinchable when he gets hit most of the time, and it makes him, you know, get attacked more. So if you are really gonna use him as a okay, that's a big if you are really using him as a physical damage dealer, like a carry, then you might want to consider removing this skill. Okay, auto critical, like he has basically most of the things packed into him. Okay, he has critical, he has auto haste, he has patience too, which makes him even tankier at close to death. So this is a mechanic that, you know, you probably want to focus on, like when he's close to death, gets more buffs, you know, skills like Blessing of Mana, maybe it would help, Awakening, stuff like that. So Pride, Fire High Drive, Fire Attack Raise 1 and 2, so that's a lot of additional fire physical damage over there. Chivalry Mindset, this is something that Roland has. When a sword and armor equipped, STR and armor defense plus 50%. So sword STR plus 50%. So basically, if your sword is 200 attack, 200 STR, it's gonna become 300 STR. So it is really nice. It is really nice. Okay, so you know, I want to play around with builds in that sense for him. Double Impact, not really sure whether this will be how good this will be on him. Later on, I'm gonna move on to his speed weapons also. So this is something I want to talk about, and I want to see it for in the description here. So regular attacks get a powerful light extra attack. All extra attacks deal 1.5 times damage. Okay, this is real. Okay, so this what I feel that it means is that every extra attack that you put on him it's gonna deal 1.5 times damage. That means if it deals a 20% like impacts, right? Let's say for example a normal impact deals 20% additional damage, right? It's gonna get a 1.5 times multiplier, which means a 50% boost. Okay, so it's gonna become 30% instead of 20%. So if you put impacts on him, right, he will get more out of impacts. But then again, do you want to really build impacts on him? That is the question that everybody's gonna ask, right? It really feels that they want that previously they have certain characters that tries to focus on impacts, but it never works, right? But okay, this is interesting. Okay, this is interesting, guys. What I feel here is that he might be the catalyst of an impact team. Okay? Get that, guys, an impact team. Okay? Why would you have physical damage plus 10%? Okay? Another thing that I missed. Okay? I thought it was just on Goddess Kiss. But apparently no. It is also on impacts. So basically, impacts works off auto attacks, right? So basically, if you want impacts to proc, you want to buff your auto attack damage, because when your auto attack damage increases, your impact hits harder, right? And for him especially so, his impact is gonna hit a lot harder. But then again, I don't know how great that will be, you know, to build him as an impact character. That is, it's kind of weird, but you know, I really gotta see what is his physical attack. Is it gonna be fire? Because if his auto attack is not fire, he better have a fire sword. Because if not, you will never be hitting your whatever you want to hit. Because it has to be fire, right? Because he gets all his buff of having fire attack raise and whatnot. So if his auto attack is neutral, then you're gonna have a hard time. I mean, it doesn't really work. Insta strike, when only sword weapon equipped is one sword, so physical crits have a low chance for damage, 150%, right? And damage cap plus 15,000. So basically, Kyle is gonna have a very huge damage cap increase. So 15,000 plus 10,000 is 25,000, right, from his trade. So 25,000 plus basic 9999 is 34,999. And we also have another skill that's going to add 2,000 if he single wheels. So 34,000 will become 36,999. Alright? So I'm going to do a quick math over here for you guys. If you do a wheel, you will lose this 15,000 and lose the 2,000. But you will have a 10,000 from his trade. So you will get 19,999 damage if you're dual wielding as a damage cap. If you times that to 2 hits, it's gonna be 39,998 damage, which is 2 of 40,000. Okay, so 2 of 40,000 is still higher than a single wheel 36,999. Okay, so dual wheel still seems to work. Like in terms of raw damage wise, he still does more raw damage. But if you were to see his other skills, right, like this doppelhanger, what are the names, man? Right, you will see doppelhanger, 20% crit rate, 20% more damage. But this 20% more damage, right, is almost equivalent to a dual wielding. It's just to negate dual wield, because dual wield is 60%, 60%, right? So what it means is that you get an overall 120% damage from the average damage from single wielding. So this 20% over here is literally just removing that damage increase from dual wield, right? and giving you an additional 10% crit rate plus 2000, pathetically 2000 damage cap. But you know, can't say that it is what it is. Okay, so basically they are trying to make him into a single wielder, but it's still lacking in some sense. By having this skill, Doppelhander, right, at the expense of having an additional hit, you are actually compensated by having higher percentage crit and also having a higher damage cap. So we're gonna have a sword boost, giant killing. So basically he only needs sword high boost as the other boost, because he, you know, if you're gonna use him as a single wielder, that's the only thing that he's gonna be wearing. So break time for enemies put into break by the unit. Okay, not good to have skills. Alright, so we are done with Kyle. I got a burp. We are done with Kyle analysis. Now I'm going to go through his paid stuff. Oh, he don't have a paid web. Okay, so basically, okay, that is the problem. Okay guys, there is a problem now. Because if his auto attack is not fire, there is gonna be a problem for him. Okay? Because if his auto attack is not fire, he needs a fire sword. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, that is the problem. So I don't know if his auto attack is fire, but let's take a look at fire swords at this point. Wow, I have to go to Red Queen. So I think it has to come through the URR, right? The URR is a sword, right? Wait, oh. Wow. Wow. Spirit Sword Kagutsuchi. This is definitely fucked up. Crit rate plus 5%, fire, physical damage plus 50%. Fuck this shit! This is exactly what Kyle needs. Exactly. At fucking exactly. It's like putting a paid weapon into a URR. So guys, okay, I'm exaggerating here because it literally did not write there shift Kyle only. Okay, it still can be worn by anybody else. It can be worn by Dante if you are a Dante fan. You know, I'm a Dante fan. So Dante can definitely wear this, but you know, it fits so well for Kyle because he is gonna be single wielding. Okay, and you want a higher crit, you want more damage, so that his single wield can hit that big numbers for his light extra attack to hit, right? So wow, I am a bit hyped to build him as a extra attack fighter. I'm a little bit hyped. So we first have his gauntlets of Gynet. What? Okay, never mind. Alright, it's an accessory. Chance for physical attacks and special to deal extra fire damage. So it's another additional skill, an additional hit, right? Special is a chance to deal critical damage. So basically his special is, you know, like more and more people have this sort of skill. So let me see, 40% STR, 47% defense. So it's gonna make him tankier and sort of in some sense deal more damage. So extra fire damage. Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. I think this is I mean, if you are going for damage, that is, right? If you are not going for damage, then this might not be important. Chance for physical attack and special attack to do extra fire damage. So chance for critical damage. So I can't say for sure now, but it feels that way. It feels that way because when the special has a chance to crit, and then this, so it means that it can hit cap easier right? And when it hits cap, it has a chance to do extra damage, which is based off the hit itself. So if it's I don't know what is the maximum damage cap for his ultimate. You know, is there a chance to increase the damage ultimate? But if it's 9999 and if it's a 50% damage, right? We don't know how much is this extra fire damage also. So quite hard to rate on this, right? Okay, let's move on to the second one. The greaves, both accessories though. Okay. 200 HP, 40 defense, 31 MND. Very meh stats. Great increase of curse because he's weak on curse. So basically this will sort of negate a little bit of his weakness in ailment in arena. Makes him a little bit tankier towards dark. Battle start, restore 10 SCT to the third skill, bottom left skill. And physical attack damage plus 1000. So physical attack damage plus 1000 is literally for PvE. Okay, so PvE wise, he can really hit like freaking hard, man. Wow. But restore 10 SCT to his third skill. I think that it is to make him immediately being able to cast third skill. So you guys will see a very consistent Kyle first skill, third skill into your face. So that is something that's gonna happen in every single arena fight. That if you choose to fight a team with Kyle, right, he will literally S3 into your face. Okay, because instantly he should be able to get his SC up. SS3 up with this accessory and also skill charge 3, right? Should, okay, so he will be scary in that sense because he's able to straight away jump into your face before you can even do a single shit, right? Like for other characters, sometimes you will need certain arcs to compensate for that. You need a sky ship. You need a pirate ship. You need a city of the dead, a city of the abandoned seas. Is that the name? You need those sort of arcs to complement and make sure that your S3, you know, has enough SCT. Or you might even have to put on some other things to make sure that or quick trigger and pray to RNGesus that your quick trigger hits your S3. So you know it's not consistent. But Kyle will be able to be consistent without having to invest too heavily into him. So I think this will be nice to have. So both are really nice to have, but I wouldn't say I would say that the greaves is more important than the gauntlets, but I have to try out and test out the gauntlets more to be able to tell. Alright guys, this will conclude my initial first impression for Kyle. Alright, take care everyone. Have a great rest of the day. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. This is Zaz here and I'm signing out. Alright, so this is the one. Okay, I'm definitely getting him in this pool. This is the one. What did I say, guys? What? Whoa! 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 Whoa!